So it's Cyber Monday, and over the last few years, it's kind of changed how it's worked. Before, when there was a difference between brick and mortar stores and online stores, Cyber Monday was a little bit more of its own thing. But now, with everything kind of becoming one, and brick and mortar stores all have online stores and vice versa, um, Cyber Monday isn't really separated very much from Black Friday. Most sales go from the Monday before Cyber Monday all the way through Black Friday and then Cyber Monday. But there are a few deals that have popped up since Black Friday. Sometimes they'll pop up exclusively for Cyber Monday. There's just a few. But most sales are pretty consistent. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put all these sales from my Cyber Monday video that I'm doing right now onto the same Black Friday tab in the spreadsheet. And then we're just going to go ahead and talk about some new ones that I've seen since Black Friday. So I've seen a few pretty good laptop deals. The first one is a Lenovo LOQ 15.6 Full HD laptop. This one has an i5 13450HX, 16 gigs of RAM, which I would consider to be a minimum now when buying a computer, especially a laptop. And it has the 5050 with 512 gigs of SSD. This is down to $650, which is a very, very good price for this laptop. I think this is probably one of the best deals that I've seen so far. If you want a laptop with a lot more juice to it, you can get this MSI Vector, which is a 16-inch. This uses a 1440p display instead of a 1080p display of the last one. It has a Ryzen 9 8940HX. The display also goes up to 240 Hz, which is an upgrade. Still has 16 gigs of memory, but it has a 5070 Ti instead of the 5050. And it has a 1 terabyte SSD, and this one is $1,300. This is also still a really good deal. Now, Steam also has the Steam Deck on sale. It is 20% off. Now, Steam Deck has the original Steam Deck, which is the LCD version, currently on sale for 20% off. So I think this is a really good deal if you want to pick up a Steam Deck. I absolutely love my Steam Deck. I use it a lot, especially when I'm traveling, when I'm spending time with my parents, stuff like that. It is such a great handheld. It's the most comfortable handheld for me as well. I've used the ROG Ally and I own one. I've also used the Lenovo Legion, and I just feel like the Steam Deck's ergonomics overall are the best. And it has really, really pushed Linux gaming to a whole different tier, and Linux gaming has become so much better. And I think it's majorly in part with the Steam Deck just becoming so popular. A great device, currently down to $319.20 for the 256 LCD version. Now, if you do want something with a little more power than the Steam Deck, the Lenovo Legion Go is currently have some good sales right now. The Z2 Go version with 16 gigs of RAM and 512 gigs of internal storage is currently $450 at Best Buy. And then if you want even more RAM and more storage, the 32 gig 1 terabyte Z1 Extreme version is $650 right now. The nice thing with all of these devices is you can dual boot them with SteamOS and Windows if you want to. You can get a lot of flexibility out of these, and the ones that are a little bit more powerful, especially when you do put Windows on them, can be a really good desktop kind of personal, really light replacement. So if you're traveling, you're going to your parents' place, but you still want to be able to kind of browse the web the way you normally would and all that kind of stuff, you could really easily do that if you're comfortable with Windows. But with the Steam Deck, you can do all that too if you're cool with using Linux. Now, I want to briefly talk about some computer parts, and one computer part that's actually become a much better price since we talked about it on Saturday is the Thermaltake Tough Power GT 1000 watt. It was $109.99 on Saturday when I talked about the computer upgrade builds. Now it's down to $99.99, which I think is a great price for this. This isn't going to be the best 1000 watt power supply, but it is a very, very good one. It's going to do the job for you, and 1000 watts for under $120 is just going to be a great overall price, and it is the ATX 3.1 as well. Now, in terms of storage, there's still not any incredible deals. There was a very, very brief incredible deal that was sold out almost instantly, and I think they made a mistake in the pricing. But we have seen a couple other ones where they are their all-time lows. It's just not great price. For example, the Samsung 4TB 9100 Pro, which is a PCIe 5.0 NVMe drive, is currently down to $370. But there's an additional 40% off, so it goes down to $329.99, which is a really, really good price. It is the all-time low for this particular drive. It's just a very high-end, very expensive drive. And if you'd like something a little bit more on the budget end, Crucial's 1 terabyte P310, which is a DRAM-less PCIe 4.0 SSD is currently down to $80. This is its all-time low. It's not going to be the best drive, but for $80, it's not too bad. And then if you'd like some portable storage, Crucial's X10 Pro is currently down to $209.99 with the additional coupon that gets applied to the cart at B&H. You can also get the non-pro version, which is going to be even cheaper. It's just a little bit slower overall. This is a really good portable SSD. You can use it the way I use my portable SSDs is I use it for all my editing stuff. So I put all of my footage and everything on there so that if I do want to go ahead and edit on my laptop, I can just move all that stuff really quickly onto there and just kind of plug it into my laptop and go. So it's great for stuff like that. And this is a really good price. Now, a lot of stuff from my streaming setup is also on sale and at their all-time lows during this Cyber Monday. For example, the arm that I use for my microphone, the Elgato Wave arm low profile, is currently down to $70. This is a really well-built all-metal mic arm. I really like it. It's been a fantastic addition to my setup. $70, I think, is a pretty good deal for it. The mixer that I use for my streams and for all my videos and everything is also currently on sale. The Rode Procaster Pro 2 is down to $550, which is its all-time low. And if the Rodecaster Pro 2 is a little bit overkill for you, you can get the Rodecaster Duo, which has fewer channels and more properly sized for a lot of people, especially if you're just going to be doing streaming. This one's down to $400, which is also its all-time low. I absolutely love my Rodecaster Pro. I know a few people that have switched over from things like the Go XLR and some of the stuff from a few of the other brands. They're really happy with the Rodecaster. I absolutely love my Rodecaster, and they're continuously upgrading and updating the firmware to give it more and more features. It's been such a pleasure to use, and it's really changed my streaming setup. Now, I use a Stream Deck XL. Unfortunately, that one does not seem to be going on a very good sale right now, but the other Stream Decks are having some fantastic prices, and they're all at their all-time lows. For example, the Stream Deck Plus is currently down to $160 from $200. This one's great. It's got a whole bunch of knobs. It's got a display. If that is stuff that you are really interested in, this is a really good one. But if you do not need the knobs or the display, you can get the Stream Deck MK2 down to $110. This is its all-time low for the newer version. And you can add as many pages to you want with this as you want. So you can make it into your own kind of XL. You just have to swap through pages. Stream Decks are great for a whole bunch of things, not just streaming. I use a standard Stream Deck, the original one, for my video editing. I have it here. I have a whole bunch of hotkeys on there. I know DJs that use it for a whole bunch of purposes. I know people that work in lighting and production that use them for everything. Like, they can be used for so many different things other than just streaming. So if you are interested in having a whole bunch of hotkeys at your disposal, these are a really great pickup. Now, something I have, but I haven't figured out a way to kind of integrate it into my setup just due to its size, is the Elgato Prompter. I would really love to use this, especially trying to keep on script with a few more videos so that I don't make them nearly as long. I do have one. I'm planning to use it. It isn't set up, but it is on a really good sale if you're interested in picking one up. It's currently $199.99. It is a very well-built teleprompter. You don't need to use your phone. You don't need to use a tablet or anything. It has a built-in screen. You can use it for a whole bunch of different purposes. You can use it as a YouTuber. You can use it as a streamer. You can use it for work. You can use it for a whole bunch of different things. It's a very flexible piece of tech. And at the $200 price point, it's its all-time low. Now, we actually have some pretty decent sales on consoles right now. So the Nintendo Switch 2, we haven't seen any real sales for it at all. But there is one for the Nintendo Switch 2 plus the Mario Kart World bundle. It's at Walmart. You won't be able to see the price until you add it to your cart. But when you do add it to your cart, it is $50 off at $149. It's not an insane deal, but Nintendo stuff doesn't go on sale all too often, so if you were interested in picking one of these up, this is a good place to pick it up. And the PS5 holiday bundles have come out, and those ones are all discounted, so this is down to $450, which is a really good price for the disc 1TB version of the console, and it comes with some additional stuff for Fortnite if you're interested. Overall, this is a really good price. The lowest price for the 1TB disc edition PS5 was $424, but that was last year during the Black Friday sales. This at $450 is the lowest price that it's been all of this year. And to close things off, A lot of digital or subscription services have some insane deals during Black Friday, Cyber Monday time, and it's usually the best time to pick up some of these. So things like VPNs, for example, Plex, if you're interested in stuff like that. I've talked about Unraid and how Unraid has all their discounts right now, and it's their best prices of the year. And VPNs especially just have some really, really good sales. And this is usually the only time I usually suggest people to actually pick these things up. For example, Proton is currently doing 75% off right now, and Proton is a really great VPN. NordVPN is doing 77% off plus 3 months of extra, so that's a really good deal. NordVPN is what I'm currently using, just because I bought a 3-year subscription. Currently using this. I've been debating switching to Proton VPN. NordVPN's been fantastic for me, but I do want to try out a couple of different services and see how I like them. And then Surfshark is also doing an 88% off with 3 months extra as well. I highly suggest just picking up the multi-year packages. They're a very, very good value, and having a VPN is great. You can use them for a whole bunch of different purposes, whether it is getting access to shows that aren't currently available in your country, or just keeping your data and your internet access private. Lots of great purposes, and these are some really good sales. And again, as mentioned, I'm going to just combine the Cyber Monday and Black Friday deals into a singular tab just to make things easier. And then I'm going to update all of the sales from Black Friday to their current prices just to make sure that they are still on sale. And if their prices have gone down, like that PSU that we talked about, then the prices have gone down, and that's good for us. So I really do hope that this whole series has helped you out. I hope that you've found some interesting things on sale that you were waiting to buy. I hope that I saved you a little bit of money. If you do want to see any of the previous videos, whether it's the holiday gift guides, the Black Friday video, or the computer upgrades video, which was a little different than I've done in previous years, check out the playlist down below. I'll also have the playlist right up here somewhere. I really do hope that you enjoyed this series. I hope that it helped you out. Thanks again for watching to the end of this video. With all that said, stay safe out there, and I'll see you next time.